So someone asked me a question. So what is exactly your role to stay 30 years old? What I have said basically is nothing about this. So I'm going to tell you. I don't really rove people very often. I usually observe outward and I look at my environment um, from in here outwards. So I'm not roving myself. Usually, I do not rove people all that often. Sometimes when I'm writing and I'm creating characters, I'm roving people a bit more as the characters are being developed for my work. And it's interesting, it's fiction, so it is not really roving them in their quantum state of feeling the or old or this or that or the other. It's what I'm creating, so it's really fun. And the sun, ever since the very beginning of us, we've roved the sun as a symbol of our nuclear inner power of gamma firing in the brain. It's part of the training of the great pharaohs that was brought forward all the way through to the matrix energetics. Also cleans the eye line. If you sit and focus on being the bright sun, and then you just take um, and you take other people out of the mind, um, and my children, sometimes I wrote, but it's very, very fast. There's a whole teaching called soul observance roving written in Starlight's articles on Starlight State Law Online. If you don't know what roves are, it will tell you what that is. And really, a lot of it is just, uh, when your consciousness opens, we don't really have this, wonder what Mary's doing next door, or what Janet is doing with Bill. I haven't called them in a while. And last time we talked, they were breaking up and they were going through some sort of catharsis, sitting thinking about what that would be like and internalizing it and getting almost like codependent, sympathetic with it, right? I don't do things like that. So, friends can be like that sometimes. I'm finding people do it less. People are sort of like this now because of all the extraterrestrial observance of us. They're finding that they just want to be in their own head, on their own work, on their own families, and they don't really uh, do this codependence thing as much anymore, where they are sort of taking on each other's pain and stories, and I had this out and that out, and then you're like, oh God, that must have been so bad. Like you're feeling it. I don't do that. That ages you. So I just sort of I stay in observation mode of my day, my work, my goals, and people who are inspiring to me occasionally. You know, people don't realize that in order to age themselves, there's a mechanism that they roll their parents every, God, it's horrible, at least every 3 minutes per hour, an old relative, old, which starts to tighten things here and squeezes the heart. No, and they're like, it's what it is in the subconscious mind. It's accepted the program that in our society we age. That's what they're taught. And so, in order to create it, they know how to create it. They will roll people in a family who are old, and they'll keep doing it. So, in order to get out of it, what you have to do is consciously, if you have a habit of roving your family still, which usually children do this to grow, and it's young parents, not old geezers, right? They're young and good looking. So you can do that when you grow up. You can rove as part of that eternal youth quantum mind tech tool I gave as a bonus freebie on Starlight State blog to let you sample quantum mind tech tools before you pay for the event with me, um, which some of you may enjoy attending. Many actually probably will. Anyway, you can rove your parents when they were young. So get rid of the memory of them, because it's not roving the real person and connecting with the brain carrying them. It is us creating it from our observer. So if you're to create your mom Mary and she's 80, And she's like this. You're like the actor walking through the mall going, I'm roving her now. But you know, in order to rove this old person and create it for my observer, I'm getting kind of, and ETs make a mistake when they grab real parents. Pulls their brains. They're crazy. Never ever grab real people because we don't do that as observers. It's baloney, and even the Andromedans don't do this. It's stupid people on Earth with their grays who say, "Oh, do this. That's correct." It is not correct. Okay, quit to those people. They're really not with it. It is, think about it. If you're going to create your mother and she's old, then that is you, the observer, acting it out. Okay, creating this aging state. So replace them with your parents when they were young. I dare you, walk through town one day and rove your mom or your dad, and the autonomic does it, so you have to catch it. Rove them when they are young. So you sit with a photo of them in the evening, and you focus on your divine observer, and you map and you say, this is part of the Eternal Youth Quantum Mind Deck tool. I'm going to remap my brain to only remember my parents like I did when I was a young person, when they were young people. And then it will change, but you have to consciously make the observer change the program, because it's like driving a car. It's wired in there, so you have to relearn how to drive the car and put the young parents in there. And it may take up to a week, but do it. It will stop the aging, what a lot of you do, because it does this. And science has not identified it, because scientists, they map in slower parts of the brain still. They have not sat and observed their own autonomic. Think about it. How do you sit and observe your own autonomic when it's keeping your heart rate going, your digestion? It's very difficult. So after ascension, I found that this happened to me. I was able to see this stuff very clearly. And as people become more awakened, they will see more of it as well. And in the meantime, use my information. It has been true for many, many people. And there's nothing dangerous in it. It's safe. So it's really amazing stuff. So give it a try, and you will find that adjusting your soul observance row is unreal. For those who have parents that have passed on and use another relative or whatever, same thing. Replace a picture of them when they are young people, and that is part of the secret of the Eternal Youth Quantum Mind Deck tool that we have, where you can turn the same age every birthday and cease to age if you are using the other Quantum Mind Deck tools to help you accomplish that, especially. So good luck with it.